Hi, welcome to another edition of Nutrition in the Kitchen. I'm Kathleen Cook. I'm a nutrition educator here at Cornell Cooperative Extension. And today we're in the Regional Farmers Market. This is the commercial kitchen at the marketplace. We're located at Upper Front Street in Binghamton. So August is a great month for corn, and that's what we're featuring today, a recipe using corn, and there's a lot of corn available at the market right now, delicious local corn. And this is a sugar and butter sort of corn. So today what I'm making is a version of Mexican street corn, but instead of it having the heavy ingredients like mayonnaise and sour cream on it, we're doing a little bit healthier version by using yogurt as a topping and Parmesan cheese, and just a little bit lighter. There's actually no salt in this recipe at all. Not only that, but we're putting another little twist on it to make it more interesting. Just instead of the regular corn cob, we're putting it into a riblet form. So what you see right here is I've already cut them up. I'm going to show you how to do that. And by making it this way, it makes a really nice hors d'oeuvre. And as we bake them, they will kind of curl so that they look like little ribs. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It is a little bit of work, but it's kind of fun to take to a party or for a gathering or something like that. So there's the corn right there, and I'm just going to show you how to do that. Oh, I need my knife, my large knife. I will tell you right now, as my knife is coming to me, that it really makes a big difference to have a knife that is large enough, okay? Because if it doesn't have that leverage, it's kind of hard to cut through the ear of corn. And I was trying it with a different one and found that one this size is really helpful. So first of all, I'm going to just cut the end off of this. Okay, so I have a flat surface. Now, you could cut all the way down like this, but I think that's a little dangerous. I think you have more of a chance of slipping. And if you make it smaller, it's a little bit easier to eat. So I'm cutting it right in half right now. And even with this big knife, it takes a little work. Then I'm going to put it on an end. And I'm just going to slide the knife down this way. See if I can get it to go straight. There we go. That one actually broke a little bit, but that's all right. Same thing here. I'm going to cut it. See if I can get it to go straight down this time. Okay, so you can see it's just cut in half. And then to make them so that they curl as they bake, I'm going to cut it in half again. Here we go. Right. This one. And then we'll do one more here. Okay, even though this broke in two, it still is fine to use. So then you just put them on a cookie sheet, and I've lined my cookie sheet with parchment paper. I love parchment paper. It makes cleaning up so much easier. So parchment paper, and we're going to do this in the oven, but it can be done in an air fryer as well, probably in about half the time. So to do it in the oven, it's going to take about half an hour for it to cook, and that's long enough for it to kind of curl. And if you want it browned a little bit more, you might have it go a few minutes more than that. But we'll put them on here. And then we're going to season them before they even go in the oven. And our seasonings, so I'll show you the ones that are going to go together first. We have 4 tablespoons of oil, 4 tablespoons of oil, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a teaspoon of garlic powder, also a teaspoon of chili powder, and then this is half a teaspoon of onion powder and half a teaspoon of black pepper. So what I'm going to do is dump all of that together, and by mixing the spices with the oil, we can have an even blend going on each little riblet. So there's our paprika. Here's the garlic powder. This is the onion powder. Oops, so we can get that in. It's kind of humid today. And the pepper. And I'm actually going to hold off on the chili powder because that's going to be used more of a garnish when it comes out. So we just whisk all that together, and it makes this nice little red paste, very pretty, kind of festive looking. And then we will spread it on each of these little riblets. So corn, over the years, has gotten kind of a bad rap because it's a high carbohydrate vegetable, but it actually does have some benefits. It's high in vitamin C. It has, which is a great antioxidant, and then it also has some components that are good for your eyes. There's a nutrient called lutein that's great for your eyesight. It actually helps to prevent cataracts. So you can see we're going to try to put this on every single one of them. Hopefully I've got enough for all of them. Now what we have here is 3 ears of corn that I cut in advance. So we have the 3 on the tray here. We'll just try to slather it on. Hopefully I've got enough for all of them. More spices are going to go on after this comes out of the oven. So, you know, even though I'm trying to get it on every single one of them, we'll see how that goes. So as you're seeing, we may need a little bit more of it. If you were to make this, you might want to make some more of the spice mixture. Okay, we'll just get it on. Also, if you don't like it as spicy, you can just take a little bit of oil and put that on it, and maybe some garlic powder, maybe some onion powder, and do it that way. The paprika doesn't really give a lot of spice. It just adds some flavor to it. It's not really a hot, spicy sort of dish here. Okay, we'll use what we can here. Okay. All right, so you know you'll have to kind of work that through. So then you put it into an oven that's preheated to 375 degrees, and you just let it bake. So it says like between 25 minutes and 30 minutes. I would just watch it towards the end there and decide if it's at the type of curl that you want it to be, and if it has kind of that roasted texture to it. This can also be done on a grill, in which case, of course, you're going to have more of that grilled corn sort of taste to it. So I'm going to put these in the oven. And since we already prepared some ahead of time, I'm going to bring out the ones that we did prepare. And you can see how they kind of turn out. So as you can see, they've all kind of curled, which gives it that kind of riblet sort of look to it. And the idea is that it's very small, so you can eat just a little bit at a time and have a few of them and not overdo it on your corn. So, and corn sometimes can be, it's very high in sugar or like the carbohydrates. So, you know, if you have any kind of concerns with blood sugar level, of course, it's not that you can't eat it. You should just probably go easy on it. Don't overdo it. So the next thing we're going to do is just slather each one of these with some yogurt. So I've got the Greek yogurt here. Now, as I said, the other versions of it have mayonnaise mixed with spices, and this is definitely a much lighter version of it. But if you may know, like Greek yogurt really has a nice flavor of like sour cream, so it's a good substitute for it. Certainly much healthier. I'm going to put my glove on here. I touch these. And the corn, I mean, there's so much of it right now, so it's really delicious. And I also found out with this that, you know, if you bake it and it gets a little cold or something, it can be easily popped in the microwave, and this yogurt has more of a cheesy texture to it then. So we're going to be putting some Parmesan cheese on it, and it tastes just as delicious. So let's see if I can get them all on there. And also because the corn is cooked, it makes it a little bit easier to chew. You know, like it's been baked like this, is pretty tender on the cobs, on these little riblets. And just get that on there. Now, you know, cutting each one of those, you saw how you have to kind of press hard with the knife. This can kind of be one of those little labors of love because it takes some time to make them, but they do taste delicious. Okay, get some more on there. Okay, I think I got all of them, just about. Right. And the next step is putting some Parmesan cheese on them. So there too, I'm just going to sprinkle it on. We're not putting this back in the oven, so it doesn't matter if it spills over on the sides a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to put it actually on the plate so that it gets the cilantro on it. So we have our little tweezers here. I'll put a few on here. Let's see if we got one like that. And then cilantro. Now that's optional, but to me it really adds a lot of that Mexican flavor that you expect. You know, cilantro is very much associated with Mexican foods. Let's see if it'll stick to it. Press it in a little bit. Okay. And then also to make it look pretty, you add a little bit more of the chili powder. Put a little bit of that on it, sprinkle it. Okay, and then the final thing is adding lime juice. Now you can take a squeeze of lime just like this and squeeze it on that way. Or if you've got a large quantity and you want it to travel well, you can also cheat a little bit by using the lime juice that's in a container like this. So that's kind of it. That's how it looks. And you just eat a little bit at a time like this. You know, I'm going to show you just a little bit like that. And it just has that little tiny cob to it. So this is the Mexican street corn, a healthier version. We'll be posting the recipe online for you to see. And we encourage you to come on down to the farmers market. We are located on Upper Front Street in Binghamton. That's the Broome County Regional Farmers Market. It is open every Saturday from 9 to 1 year-round. So even through the winter months, we're open 9 to 1. And we encourage you to come on down and check out the wonderful fresh corn and all the other great produce at the Regional Farmers Market. Tune in again next time for Nutrition in the Kitchen.